casual sex or sex on the primary date is your choice. Here's why you would like to halt stressing approximately what individuals will think of you and begin your travel towards sexual strengthening. I as of late conducted a study in my community on how likely individuals are have sex on the primary date. Often sex may be an unthinkable point in our society. And so numerous individuals were very hesitant to share within the overview. But the reactions that came in? Well, they were very captivating. Whereas numerous men didn't see any issue with having sex on a to begin with date, numerous ladies said they wouldn't set out. It's no astonish that when it comes to ladies, there's a part of disempowerment that happens sense of deception around sex. Not to say, not being permitted the organization to have our possessed supposition almost sex too plagues our society. Truth be told, sexual joy can be amazingly engaging, and how you explore your sexual life is up to you. These 5 tips can be the starting of that enabling sexual travel. 1. How we judge ourselves is exactly how we judge others. Agreeing to my overview, numerous ladies said no since sex on the primary date would make them a hoe or a slut. Having sex on the primary date shouldn't make you a feeling decrying. Holding up for the correct time could be a choice. If there's no sexual start, it would never work besides. Envision contributing time and vitality on somebody for 5 to 6 weeks or indeed until marriage, and after that falling into bed as it were to discover that there are no firecrackers. To me that would be a squander of my feelings, time and vitality. Make your claim hot brilliant choices, particularly as a lady, and do what feels right for you. 2. Emotional commitments. Expecting that we are as of now connected to somebody, are we reaching to be more let down in case we are ghosted, or are we aiming to be more harmed after an official breakup? Is it more regrettable to have our hearts altered with after fair 24 hours of assembly somebody, or after a year? Catastrophe is awfulness. In case we are intending to interface with somebody sexually, can we appreciate the time without any desires? It's something to think. Almost getting on the dating scene, finding a companion, and sexual relationships are all part of our journey in life. Benefits of sex and closeness are implied to be break even with where each accomplice benefits from the sexual delights. Closeness may be a two-way road. For this to happen, one must be learned approximately oneself. As it were, you know what your deepest self is and require of at a specific time. Is it a snuggle? Is it emotional intimacy, or are you fair seeking out for delight? Being empowered is approximately making the correct choices for yourself without feeling blameworthy or embarrassed. Once you know what you need, you'll be able to care for your needs. There's nothing off base with getting a charge out of sex and closeness with the one you think is really meriting of your being and time. 4. Boys want sex, men want intimacy. The sooner we get comfortable with the thought that closeness may incorporate sex but sex doesn't continuously incorporate closeness, the way better choices we are going to be able to make. Being insinuate compels you to be near to somebody in a way that goes past what they bring or do for you. Closeness can be physical but may too show profoundly, savvy people, or candidly. Our closeness can expand to our family individuals as well as our social organize. Each shared minute in our lives and the intelligent we come over create a level of closeness that we may be deliberately or unwittingly mindful of. Usually what men eventually endeavor for an expansion to the act of sex. 5. Pleasure is not a dirty word. Inquire yourself why sex is demonized. Is it a frame of control? Is it basically a devout conviction? Eventually it is your choice whether to have casual sex, but you ought to be careful of your possessed vitality. In the event that you've got worked on yourself, begun your claimed travel of radical self-acceptance and subsequently self-love, at that point you will draw in tall vibrations. In case you're completely consenting with somebody you believe, indeed casually, a part can be learned and delighted in a non-committal space. Now and then we fair ought to discover moments of joy without an attachment. Fair know who you're and don't search for another individual to total you. How somebody sees you after resting with them on the primary date essentially since you needed to, isn't getting to alter their feelings towards you. In reality, to begin with date sex can be very elevating for your sense of self and your sexual certainty. Sex, closeness and connections are all portion of the human encounters. We have to be able to grasp this portion of ourselves. We all have choices to create. There are no off-base choices. We all have the opportunity to select what feels best for us at any given time. Having laments could be a squander of vitality and time. Appreciate sexual closeness. It's a discharge, a pre-cerebral human require.